I wouldn't know why this could or how this could happen. I'm just hmm. mm, mm,
I
people
just put the announcement.
chat. Yeah, Tim is in the lobby.
Like, I would be pissed, honestly, like if no one really showed up because of
Who
me.
who is Tim?
I would really pissed. What?
Who is Tim? Who is Tim?
Tim? From
Yeah,
where? Where did you find
I
that
don't
name?
know.
He's in the audience?
He's waiting in the lobby. I'm just letting him join.
Just
Maybe.
let him, bro. Let him. Yeah.
All right, Tim. But why is did I? Ah shit! I know what happened. All right.
Who's Tim?
Um.
Hello.
No problem. I know. I posted the link with. I posted a guest link and not an audience link. I'm going to delete the story real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's
By the
not
way,
not that. Huh?
just to let you know, I will be attending the first half an hour, and Tasdiq will join the
Yeah.
second half. He will
All right.
continue, okay? Because
Perfect.
you choose a time where like I have to break my fast, and and stuff.
Yeah, bro. Do your thing, man.
That's fine.
No
That's fine.
problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
I had to adapt to your time, so
Yeah,
it's
I'm very
fine.
sorry. Maybe I should have like checked it
It's
out
okay.
with you.
No. It's okay. It's okay. You
All
didn't
right. All
know.
right. Um.
As long
I'm
as we just give the value to the guys, so we're good.
That's correct. I'm just going to send in another link so that the people can join real quick. That's very nice. That's very nice. Perfect. 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 Here's the link. All right. Then let's see. But I think there will be. I mean, I had an Instagram thing where I asked how many people will join, and actually many said they wanted to join. So let's see. But if they don't join, then we're just doing it on next Thursday, what I prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yeah, we will see.
We'll see. We'll see. Everything will be fine.
Have you seen what I've prepared already?
No,
I'm
not
going.
yet.
Okay, someone is waiting in the lobby because this is still from the guest link. Okay, I understand. Hello. All right. Yeah, he's muted right now. But it's alright. It's alright. We are going to wait. Um, maybe like I think 5 more minutes because I just posted the link. All right. First people are
No
joining. That's
worries.
very nice. Yeah, but I'm very hyped up to show you guys what I've prepared.
Hell yeah.
DaVinci screen. Mm, share. All right.
Oh, I just saw it on Lenny's story, but I
You like
didn't
it?
watch it. I didn't watch it fully. Let me check it. Hold on.
It's just the Zootalks editing style, you know?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Hold on.
Wait, that's successfully uploaded. It's just short bit. Because I mean, it took me like 1 hour to do this bit, so uh, yeah, I think that's good.
Nice, bro. Nice.
Thank you very much, bro. But let's see who's going to join today, man. Let's see.
There is one. There is one in the audience.
I know, but let's wait a
Let's wait
little
5 more
longer.
minutes.
Yeah. Because I just posted the link. Oh shit. Perfect. That's good. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I think a little bit. What? Oh, someone wrote in the chat. I think. Hello, what's the topic, guys? Hey, welcome. Today we're going to go over. Oh, Tim is in the lobby again. Let's just let him join.
Oh, someone
To...
is called Hey.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So today we're going to learn how to do this animation. Oh, it was lagging. It's still lagging, but it's alright. So this Zootox kind of animation. The playback is not very smooth. So let's maybe wait. Oh no, but how are you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. That's nice. I don't know what happened, but sometimes my render cache is just so laggy. I have zero idea why. I'm just going to put up the video here. Why are they all in the lobby? But that's alright. Alright, audience is filling up. Let's wait maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. And then let's see what's going to happen. Then we're going to start.
Soon.
How you guys doing? Tim, Lotte, how are you doing?
You can open your mics, guys.
How?
I think they're shy.
Yeah, but it's alright. I'm fine, can talk though, riding the train. Yeah, alright, nice, sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh, okay. Respect for that actually. That
Yeah,
you attend and you're at the train. I respect that.
100%. 100%. Alright. Then we are like 3 or 4 people right now, then we can start if you want. I mean
We're
this will
doing
be
good, bro.
recorded.
How about you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well.
Alhamdulillah.
Let's see. Maybe I should have posted the story of the link earlier, but now it is how it is. And we're going to, yeah. Okay, someone is joining. All right, hello Hakan. Hope you're doing well. Um, okay, now a lot of people are coming.
Okay, now we can start.
Perfect. All right, hello guys. Yeah, today maybe you've seen it on my Instagram story, maybe you've seen it in Lenny's Instagram story, but today we're going to learn how to do. Okay, the playback is very bad. I'm just going to pull this video up. Today we're going to learn how to do this animation. Mm, So maybe you've seen this video already because the original one was made by Zootox. He is a very big motion creator, and yeah, I would say let's just break it down. I'm going to like give you a step-by-step guide on how to actually do this animation, and if you have any questions, the chat is open. Um, so yeah, let's just start. I think, oh my god, it's so bad that I posted the guest link and not the audience link. Now everybody is in the chat room, but it's alright. Alright, so yeah, like if you have any questions, just type in the chat. Otherwise I would just go ahead and yeah, tell you everything. Um, just give me a quick feedback, guys. Should I go step by step through my node tree, or should I go like from 0 to 100? So should I just remake the whole animation from 0?
I personally would say from zero, like, step by step from zero.
Alright,
And Joshua is saying from zero, please.
alright. So then maybe I'm going to, so that I don't have to improvise, I'm just going to make a quick screenshot of the node tree so that I can remember what I did there. So, alright, then let's open up a new project. Let's call it Zootalks.
Tim is saying step by step, but very, very detailed.
Alright. Um, alright, what are we going to do now? From zero, step by step. Like I can make a very detailed walkthrough. The thing is, like, it took me, without explaining, like 1.5 or 1 hour to create this. So it's going to be a very long call if I'm going to redo everything. I mean, I can do this, but maybe give me a quick response on that in chat.
Maybe try like, think a walkthrough would work.
All right. All right, then let's just
Okay,
start
let's
with a
do
walkthrough,
Yeah.
and then if it's not enough, you can just type in the chat. So, all right, because we had already a lot of calls where we talked about like the basics of Fusion. I already have the modules in the school where I explained like the basics on how to set up a Fusion page, how to set up the camera 3D and everything. But for all of the people who are in this live call right now, like how in depth should I explain? I mean, I think Tim already said very, very detailed, step by step. Do you know like the basics, guys? Like, do you know how a notary works and everything? So then I just know how detailed.
Personally, no. Let's see the others.
Pretty much just for the others, maybe. All right. What's with the other people, guys? Just give me a quick response. I personally know the Fusion page for cards, but not really animations. Okay. Alright. Alright. Then I would just do it like very, very detailed, so that you just keep following along. So, the first thing we are always going to do, because as we can see in the edit, especially here from Zootalks, we have this. I'm going to maybe cut it out so that we always have it here. Is this 3D camera pan? So we need to work in 3D space. And it's a little bit annoying in DaVinci Resolve because in like After Effects you can just check a button and then everything becomes 3D. In DaVinci this is apparently not the case, and we have to work with 3 like special layers to make everything work, but that's no problem. So first thing we are always going to do is set up this basic 3D node tree. It's like first we need a renderer 3D, which we plug in to our media out. Then we need a merge 3D where where every 3D node gets connected to. And then we need a camera 3D which gets connected to the merge node. So what this is basically doing is taking 2D nodes with an image plane, or taking 2D nodes, which is every node which is not a 3D node, taking a 2D node into 3D space with the image plane, which is just showing a plane of the 2D image in 3D space, and then we are putting it into a renderer 3D to render out this scene. And this merge 3D is just so that we can connect everything to it, and that we can connect the 3D camera to our scene so that we have this camera movement. And all of the transform 3D nodes you can see right here. Oh, now I have to check all of the time if people want to join. That's like very, very annoying. Alright, but it is how it is now. So, and these transform 3D nodes are just camera movements. So every of those nodes is one particular camera movement. So for example, this one is this zoom out here. It's very laggy. Maybe we can go into time. Wait, playback timeline. Okay, we already have it on quarter. This is just the 3D camera movements. The first thing we always have to do when working in 3D, like, is making our background, obviously, because we have this camera movement. So if we would just have zero background, then what would happen? What would happen is, wait, what is my background actually? Is this my background? Yeah. So if we would unplug this, you can see everything, yeah, would look see-through. So we have to create a background first with an image plane. Like I said before, image planes are just converting 2D nodes into 3D space. So yeah, so every 2D node, or we need to plug every 2D node into the 3D space. And what I did here, as we can see, this is also very important to mention, if we want to work in 3D and we want to get a big overview on what is actually happening, we can go on the right hand corner, click on this little icon, and then these two views are popping up. And then we can activate our views by just going to the node where we want to see what's happening, and then click on the button. So click on the button 1 or 2. And 2 is the second viewport, 1 is the first one. I would always recommend to put on the second viewport the media out, because this is the last node. And then if you want to have a 3D space as well, you can just go to the merge 3D node where every 3D nodes are connecting to each other. And then sorry, I'm so bad at multitasking. If I have to always let people in, it's like very annoying. So the next thing we need to do, so this is how we can set up our workspace. The next thing we are going to do is actually taking our video that we've created and making this first little bit of animation. Oh my god, we are like a lot of people right now. This is crazy. The first thing I did here was actually just this camera pan backwards and this rectangle. So what I'm going to do is just previewing the part. Oh, someone needs to mute themselves, Malte. Alright, so what we just need to do is, or what I would always recommend you if you work with like sub node trees, so not your main node tree but like little node trees, I would also always recommend you to just show the part so that you have like a better overview. In this case, I'm just going to press 1 here, and as you can see, what I did here is really nothing crazy. I just have my video on my main video, and I took a mask to mask out the little outlines. So you can access your mask by just going onto this toolbar and then dragging the mask in, or what you can do as well is pressing Shift and Spacebar and typing in rectangle. That's how you are able to access this feature as well. And then you always have to plug your masks. Who's unmuting themselves all of the time? Malte. Is it like a bug, or is he doing it for a reason? I don't know. So the next thing what you always gotta do is then plug your mask into your video to just cut out the part that you want. Masks are basically just you can think of it as like your scissor, which is cutting out a part of the video you want to change. And if we just delete it, the cutout will also be gone. The next thing I did here was actually creating those two little titles. So this, hey, I'm Dennis. You can see that this hey and this I'm Dennis is building up, and this is because of a little cool feature which is directly inside of your toolbar. When you click on your text and then to the inspector, and then you can just click on this text box, type in your text, in this case it's hey, and then go down to write on, set a keyframe at the beginning, and you can see here you can just adjust the part that you want to see, and then go to the end part where you want your animation to end, and then set right on to the end, and then you have your little animation. In this case, if we do Apple style, we always use SF Pro Display. This is the typically Apple font. And yeah, in this case it's bold, so you can always adjust here like which size you want your font to be. Alright, next thing we're going to do is yeah, okay, so what I did next was creating the next text. Just to show you what I did here, I was basically just taking the blend mode from this text in the merge node. So I connected the text with my main node tree through a merge node, and then I took my text, went into the inspector blend mode, and then I keyframed the hey so that it disappeared when the eye appeared, and I did the exact same thing for the other text, which I recreated here. Alright, how long did it take to make this video? Yeah, 1.5 hours, but yeah, I think I could have done it faster. I just had to look a lot of things up. Recently, I'm also working a lot with After Effects, so I had to remember how to do it. Yeah, but I think you are able to do this in 1 hour. Yeah. So next thing, and if you have a tutorial like this, you will be probably way faster because then you know what to do exactly. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is making the camera movement, because now we have our cutout rectangle, we have the text which is connected into an image plane 3D, which is then connected to a merge 3D, which is connected to our main merge 3D. So it just those are our 2D nodes connected into the 3D node, which is then getting through this node pipeline to the render 3D and then back to 2D. Just for all of the people who are live right now, can you follow me, or should I explain something? Do you have any questions? And don't be shy to ask. Yeah.
Joshua, I think Joshua asked, but it's in German. So please, guys, if
Oh,
possible,
yeah, I
ask in
can.
English.
Yeah, please ask in English. Personally, no. Yeah, please just ask in English, guys. It's an English call, like I said in my Instagram story. Yeah, and if you can rewatch the tutorials actually, and the tutorials are in the school community Motion Creators, so there you have full access on it and you can rewatch it all of the time. Yeah, so I can just maybe show it up real quick. This is the Motion Creators community, and if you want to rewatch it, you can just join. And yeah, and for those who are not in, then you have this free live call to learn it. Yeah, maybe something will come in the future. I have to see. I have to see. Um, all right, but now let's get back to the animation. And like I've said, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I want to make it as clear as possible, but sometimes, yeah, you just left things out, and yeah, I want that you really get the understanding of what actually happened here. So, next part was creating the first camera movement. So I took my camera 3D, which I plugged into my merge 3D, and then I created a transform 3D. So in order to get a node to connect instantly to your node tree, what you can do is just connect the previous, click on the previous node, and then hit Shift and Spacebar, and then type in whatever node you want. So in this form it was transform 3D, and then you can just hit enter, and it will instantly appear inside of your node tree. So in order to get a backwards camera movement, I can also go in a 3D camera space, like this. In order to get this 3D camera movement, you got to go into the transform 3D, go into the inspector, keyframe the Z-axis, hit on this keyframe button, and then go a couple frames forward. What I see, what a lot of beginners are doing is they take not enough frames, or they are not making it clean through the curves. So those are two like very important steps. So then you have your animation. So in this case, I thought like maybe this was good, and as you can see, this is very nice about the transform nodes, because if you do your animation on your camera node, because you can do exactly the same here, this is all cool, but in this case I started a new animation before the other animation was over, and you can't do this on a single node. So this is why connecting those transform nodes into each other very nice, because you can get way smooth animations because the movement never stops. Alright, someone has a question. I have a question for you. Do you create footage, lower thirds, etc. in Figma? No, I'm not. I'm just creating everything inside of After Effects or DaVinci Resolve. I can do both. Does this type of editing has a name, so you could look it up later? I mean, you could just call it Apple style, I think. So that's what everybody's calling it, but there's no like specific or particular name. Yeah. So yeah, you I don't know what I would look it up for because it's like still it's not very new, it's not new, but it wasn't that popular since maybe a couple of weeks or months ago. So yeah, I would just look for Apple Call maybe or Apple style. All right. So the first thing I did here was creating this backwards camera motion to get out of the frame. So we had the text, we have our background, then we have the camera motion. Next thing I did was then doing the second camera motion, so going just on the x-axis and to the right side. And like I said before, this animation from this transform starts before the other animation ends. And I will go in the graph editor to show you why and how it looks like in a second. But I just went to then here frame 50, hit X, hit the keyframe on the X, and then I went. You want to tell it to let's go. All right. So I went to frame 130, and yeah, set my second keyframe right here. So now I will go into the spline to explain what I did here. I will just take the first one first. So as you can see, it's always very important to make like very smooth splines, and I fucked it up a little bit to be honest. So like this, you always want to drag out those splines a lot because if you just press S, what you can do. Oh, someone is not muted. Maybe please mute yourself. Thank you. So what some people are doing is just marking both of the spots, then hit S, and then they say, all right, it's done. My ease is over now. But the thing is, this is not looking smooth because as you can see, the handle right now is here, and this is if you like really drag the handles out so that it looks like very smooth. So like I would always recommend you to this. Someone is not muted, please mute yourself. Right. Very, very nice. Next thing was the second animation. So as you can see, what I would not do with this technique of starting a new animation is like do an instant and very, very fast motion because this would just look bad. What I would do is I have a question. Wait, I just have to check something out. Alright, no, I don't think that's the case. Alright, no, I just had to check something out. Alright, because what you don't want to do is having like very fast starting motions, and if you have a motion going and then you make a very quick other motion, it's also looking unrealistically. But what you want to do is always start the motion then very smoothly into your next motion. So as you can see, those graphs are both very, very smoothed out, and yeah, I would always do that. I mean, I did this, or I did exactly the same for the last camera motions. So I think if you understood like now what I did there, you can explain the end for yourselves. But I will go over it in a second as well. I have to drink something real quick. All right. So the next thing I did was creating this little bit. So this is just this little text with this logo, and I didn't like in this moment I didn't have the exact logo, so I just recreated one. This is why this is looking so yeah weird, but it's actually just very, very simple. Hey Nick, would you prefer Fusion or After Effects for this type of animation? For this type of animation, you can do it with both, but if you want to have bounces and glows, I would always go with After Effects. I think like I'm always saying this in this call. So it's not about the tool, but it's about the artist. Someone is not muted. Please, can you mute yourself? It would be very nice. All right. It's about the artist. but just take what works better for you. I think that for animations and for just animations, After Effects is obviously better because it's just made for animations and for visual effects. But if you want to have like a good overall editing program which can handle everything by themselves from like basic cut, raw cuts, to audio design, to color grading, to animations, then I would always go with DaVinci Resolve. But you can do it with both. All right. So, um, next thing we are going to, I'm very curious if other people who want to join are getting kicked out if I'm letting too much people join. Because like I think Paul said, Elliot, and maybe you know the response because once I think Paul said there can only be 8 people, but no, there are 10, so it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe.
I really have no idea.
All right. So then we will just keep going like this, no problem.
There's a, I
Mhm.
think I'm not sure if you answered the question from Noah. Would you
Yeah,
prefer Fusion? Okay, okay,
I
okay.
did. So, um, the next thing I did was creating this text, little or like making those texts pop up there, not really popping up there, just blending into the camera movement. So what I did here was just having an image plane 3D. Then I took a background, which I set the alpha to 0 and connected it to my image plane 2D. This is always the base if you want to have like, um, no, it did. I'm very curious if people are getting kicked out. I don't know. Maybe people already joined. Maybe can you give me a quick feedback if some of you got kicked or something? If I let there can only be 11 people. All right, that makes sense. Then I'm going to instantly take a new link or make a new link because we don't want to do this. Then just give me 1 minute or two. Take this guest audience, copy link here. But I think this should be the new link, or what happened? Hmm. I don't know. I'm just going to recreate the story. Funktioniert. One little second. Um, so all right. Okay, we can keep going. I think now I fixed it. Now it's 12. I don't know. All right. Maybe it's weird. What's up, Julian? I hope you're doing well. All right. So then let's just keep going. I reposted or I made a new story. So everybody got now the correct link, hopefully. Um, yeah. So let's just keep going. Uh, um, Next thing, so yeah, I already talked about, first I took this background, connected to the image plane 3D, because we always need to have like our base node tree, so this is like basically our media in, and when we just set the alpha to 0, we are making like an invisible background, so, or we're making a see-through background so we can work on that. We can't just connect anything to our image plane 3D if we want to have or if we want to have like a node tree, when we don't have like a media in, and the background is like our media in right now. So perfect. Oh, I see already new people are joining through the link. All right, perfect, very nice. So the next thing I did was creating this text. So I connected the text by just connecting it or taking this rectangle and then drag it to the background. Then a new merge got created, and then I took this transform node, so I clicked on the text node and pressed shift spacebar, type in transform, to be able to move it around and animate it, but I think I wasn't even doing it. All right, very smart of me. But I was just blending them in with the blend mode from the merge, which you can do this on the merge node or you can do this on the text node. So you can do it in the where can you do it in? Here on the alpha you can do this as well, but I did it on the merge node. So there you can just adjust the blend mode. So I keyframed it, clicked on merge, inspector, blend, set to keyframes. Then I went a couple frames forward and set the second keyframe for the second text, and then I had this. So the next thing is a little bit more complicated now because I didn't have the logo. Normally you just have a PNG now, but I just recreated a little thing, and I'm going to explain you what I did here as well. So now I took a multi-merge, and with this multi-merge this works basically as you can start a new node tree from this point right now, which is not working if you just have a normal merge node. So I just took a multi-merge node, created a background to have our media in. This is like the second, this is the media in for this little node tree. This is the media in for the big node tree. And then I took two merge nodes, created them in the middle to have an input for my informations. Took a background node, which I cut it down with the rectangle node to this particular side. So I went in the toolbar, clicked on this little icon, connected it to the background, and then went into the inspector, went to corner radius and I was dragging it up so that it gets like this nice and smooth Apple icon-ish looking like borders. And then I also made a very subtle gradient. So you can do this by going into your background and then going from type to type and then change it from solid to gradient. And then you can click on those little handles, and wherever handle you're clicking on, you can change the color by just clicking on this and then change the color. And then what I did was animating it, of course. So I went to the start from the animation. Then I went into the inspector. Very important. If you for example have something like this, and then you add the transform node, you always gotta take the pivot and put it in the middle of your rectangle or icon or whatever you have there. Why is it like going with the audience second time? I don't know what's happening, but no problem. All right. Hello Felix, hope you're doing well. Oh, hello to all of the new people. I think already 4 new people joined. Very cool. So yeah, you always need to take your pivot and put it on top of or in the middle of your rectangle if you want to have a scale up animation, because otherwise I can just show you real quick. If I take the center and put it anywhere else and we are animating it, it's going into weird directions. And this is because it's always scaling up from the middle point of the pivot. So when the pivot is not adjusted correctly in the middle of your object, then alright, I fucked it up a little bit. If your pivot is not correctly set it in the middle of your object, then it will so for example, if your pivot would be right here now, everything would get bigger from this point. So this would move to a different location where you already originally wanted it to be. So that's something you always gotta make sure. Second thing was just taking an icon. So a website that I really like for this is Flat Icon. I have the premium version, which is actually very cheap. So you have, I think, you have millions of icons for every Apple-ish looking whatever you want. You have also logos. So for example, I can type in After Effects. And the cool thing about this is if you're not working commercially. So if you're just doing it for fun or for a free project or because you, I don't know, want to train, you can download everything without without this watermarks. So yeah, very nice, and I like to recommend this. So then I just keyframed the size to make it go big, and what I did as well was going into the settings and check the motion blur and set it up to 10 to get the highest level of motion blur that I can get. And what I did as well was, of course, going into the inspector. So I was clicking on the transform into inspector, then spline to make my animation smooth. So as you can see here as well, I did it, or I tried to make it very, very smooth as well. Alright guys, could you follow up to this point? Do you have any questions? Should I explain anything more in depth? Do you need any help with anything? Just please let me know. For Tim, is everything fine? That's very nice. How's it for everyone else? And like, don't be shy. I have no problems or issues with explaining something twice or on a different way. I don't know. Yeah, just give me a quick checkup and then I can keep going. Maybe one more than Julian, than Tim. That would be nice to have like one more feedback. Great explanation. Would you prefer fusion or? Oh, am I stupid? Great explanation. Understood everything. All right, very nice. Perfect. Then we can just keep following along. I think I understood everything. That's amazing. Perfect. All right. All right. All right. All right. Then we're just going to go with the next part. So next thing I did here from this part, we have I just have to think where we are. All right, we have okay. The next thing I'm going to explain is just the next camera movement. So this is a very, very, very long camera movement, as you can see. As I just tried to exactly do the same camera movement as Zutox did, and sometimes you think, all right, this camera movement looks very short, but it just looks so smooth or so short because you have like one fast part and the first and the end bit is very like smoothed out. So we can see this if we go into the spline, and then I'm going to drag the transform here. You can see that I made like this curve is like look at this. This is like almost dragged out to the beginning of the next or of the first part, and it's just moving very subtle and very, very, very little in the end. But this is what this is what makes it so extreme smooth. That's what we want. So now we are going obviously into the hardest part. This is the final part, but it takes the longest time. I speedrun this a little bit. So normally if you are doing it like really, really properly, and if you're working with clients and everything, and they can give you feedback, then I would do it like this because you have not much, or you aren't able to adjust much things, and I would just create everything by myself. But what I did right here was just taking a screenshot of a Twitter video that the brand posted. It's called Amy, and then I can just watch it up here, and then I just cut it out, the separate parts that I needed to animate, and put it all together in here to make it an animation. So I kind of cheated, to be honest, but this was like the fastest way to do it, and I think that especially as a video editor, you always have to watch out how you can do it the fastest and the simplest way, and you don't want to have like any unnecessary work. Yeah. All right. So, I'm always just looking into the chat if anybody like types something new, so that you are not confused. So I'm looking to the left all of the time. Um, so I'm going to break this down right now. So all of the blue nodes right here are those screenshots. All of the brown nodes are the masking nodes, and all of these nodes, all of the transform nodes, are in this. What color is this? Beige? I don't, I don't know. But all of the transform nodes are in this color. And maybe you're wondering now, okay, Nick, why didn't you like call the different types of screenshots on the different parts, but the transform nodes? And this is very simple in that and it has only one reason, and this is if we go into the spline tool, we can see that all of our that like our transform nodes also are getting converted into here, and that the names or the labels are also shown up right here. So when I'm animating the headline screenshot and I have renamed the screenshot headline and not the transform node, it will still appear here as just the transform node and not the headline if I don't have it renamed. And I don't need like to know that this is the screenshot because I can just look at the transform node, and with the transform node I have then the advantage, so right here, that I know, okay, when I go into the spline, what animation is for what specific screenshot. I don't know if that was a good explanation. I'm sorry. All right, but I'm keep going. I'm going to keep going. So I just copy pasted then the screenshot multiple times, and then I made several cutouts of the parts that I needed. In this case, I also made the logo a little bit bigger, so I just cut it out. Oh, so I just cut it out, and then took the transform node to make it, or to crank up the size by like just a little bit, to match really the Zootox video. And the next thing I was doing was like cutting out the main text, this little subtext. Then I was like cutting out this video. And then in the end I was taking this little bar. And then I animated them one by one with those little transform nodes. And as you can see, if we are going to play this through like this, you can see that they are all a little bit separated, so, and they are not all coming in the same time. This is also a thing which is happening when you look at this Apple or Zootox or TJ style. It's not like you think, okay, Aladdin is gone now, I think. Have a good day, Aladdin. Um, oh, I forgot what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, this is like something that you maybe are not seeing if you're not watching very closely, that everything is having like the little separation and coming a little bit later, but this is like what makes the big difference in the end. Those little tiny details. So for example, that this is not in the same speed coming into the frame as this. Look at this. Those are the details that matter. Most of the time you think, all right. Most of the time you think maybe, all right, no one is always is even going to notice it, and that's true. No one is actively thinking. Oh, all right, Aladdin is coming back. No one is actively thinking. Oh, I saw this. This was very cool because it was like 0.2 seconds later. But this is like making the difference for your subconscious mind. Um, if you're looking at those videos where you think, all right, this is a cool video, to, oh wow, this is like really outstanding, this looks insane. So those little tiny details are actually the details who matters. And then if we go into the spline node, we can, yeah, I don't know if I should go through every animation right now, but as you can see, those are kind of the, all right, I can show you one more thing. But those are kind of the spline nodes and how they look like. So very smoothed out at the end, not smoothed out at the beginning, and this is just because they are just coming into the video, so you don't see the start point, so the movement doesn't look so the movement looks very natural. If you would see them and then it would start like very rapidly, it would look very unnatural, and this wouldn't be good. So we always want our motion to be very natural. We can think of it as maybe like a car. If a car would, or if we would see a movie and here's a car and it's just doing this motion, it would make zero sense because a car isn't like going 1 to 2000 miles per hour in 0.1 seconds, but it's like going faster. It's like starting slow and then going faster, and that's what we always try to simulate with our animations. What we try to do with our animations to make it look as natural for the eyes as possible. Alright, so what you can see here is that I have another multi-merge node. And this is because you can see in the end, this little preview window is moving up. And you can see that the text and everything is moving up as well. And that's exactly what I did here. So I was basically just creating a second node tree. This might look confusing, but this is exactly the same as this multi-merge. But just like you have to look like this from this perspective, so it has like this little curve in it, but it's exactly the same. And then we have multiple merges inside of it, which are just the little parts. So this is the headline, this is the logo, and the main text, and all of them are connected to the multi-merge. And this is because I wanted to make a movement for this for all of these parts. And in After Effects you normally just have your null objects, and you can connect everything to it. In DaVinci you do it with multi-merge nodes, or I mean you could also do it like a null object in DaVinci Resolve, but this is going faster than connecting those different kind of settings. So I would recommend you to do that if you want to make like big movements for multiple things. Alright, so the next thing you can see is that my head is popping out of the frame. um, so here does animation start. So what I actually did, and what Zootox did as well, which you maybe are not noticing, because when the video is going fast you're not seeing those things, but Zootox actually was also cheating, because he was not changing the background but just the foreground. You can see it here. So as you can see, the background isn't moving at all, so it's not going bigger, but it's just the foreground which is appearing and then going bigger and making the animation, but the background is actually staying the same. Alright, so that's actually exactly what I did as well now with my animation. So when we go back, we can see it here. Is it this? I think so, yeah. I have my main video, and then I have my rectangle connected to it, and then I have my height, which is keyframed at the beginning of the clip, and then where I want it to end. So this is about here. I also have this 3D camera movement, which is going forward to make the clip bigger, so you are not able to see it, but you can see here that it's getting bigger, and the edges are also disappearing. The edges, yes, you can make the edges disappear by just keyframing the corner radius, which I did as well. Then I went into the spline and made everything smooth, and then it looked like this. Alright, so and what I did as well was obviously blending it into the frame. So you can see here everything was like blended out, and then a couple frames forward where this animation started, I made I made the opacity go up so that you're able to see everything. Alright, in the next step, or the last step, was actually just creating this 3D camera movement so that everything becomes full screen again. And I did this by just going to the camera 3D and then taking the transform, like creating a new transform, and then keyframing the Z, Y, and X, and then I made it bigger by dragging a lot around with the ZX. So this is what I did here, and yeah, that's basically it. If you go into the spline node, you can see as well, this is what it looks like. So slow movement at the start, very smooth motion at the end, and yeah, this is how I did this Apple animation. And as you can see, maybe everything looks a little bit complicated because this node tree is so big, or I don't know, but to be honest, everything is very basic if you understand the basics of the program. It's a little bit like learning math. Like I'm very, very bad at maths, but I know that if you understood the basics once, that you can apply this knowledge on like every other project that you have. And this is exactly with this program. So if you have understood what I've explained to you right now, with this knowledge you can actually create everything else you want. It's easier than I thought at first, but really cool animation. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. All of this stuff isn't that complicated. You just have to figure it out once, how it works, and then you realize, all right, these people aren't like magicians or something. Um, they're just normal humans, and this is a actually very simple process of doing those kind of animations. What is difficult is becoming a good eye for design and for the smoothness, because in the beginning all you have just to get a lot of practice to make it really smooth, because in the beginning you or beginners are not really seeing what a really smooth motion looks like. So this is something you have to figure out on your editing way. You can always see, or you can see this as well on my Instagram account. um, Tasdik will join now, Nick. Sorry, I have to go to prepare for eating for my breakfast. No problem, man. Have a very good day. Very nice that you were on this call. Alright, so yeah, what's hard is having actually like this iPhone animation. You can scroll down on my Instagram, and then there you can see as well that for me it was also hard in the beginning, and some of the motions weren't looking very smooth. But this is just something you have to train, and then it will come, yeah, just with time. All right, guys, give me a quick feedback. Was this call informational for you? Did you learn something today? Um, was it clear enough? You can also talk. You can also activate your microphone. Yes, very nice. Thank you, bro. I'm glad I could help you. Please give me feedback. Maybe I did something very horribly wrong, or maybe I explained something the wrong way that you weren't able to understand. I just want to improve my, yeah, calling technique, valuable information, good teaching, liked it very much. All right, thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, very nice, guys. Yeah, I'm always very happy if I'm able to help you. And I mean, if you don't have any other questions, I would say thank you. You have really awesome work. Thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Then I would say have a nice day. Lotte, I'm glad you liked it. Have a nice day, guys. We will see each other next week. I will prepare something for that as well. I'm very glad that you liked the call. And yeah, see you soon. Goodbye.